The next speaker is the Honorable Swart.
Thank you, House Chair. House Chair, the ACDP welcomes the subject for discussion raised by the Honourable Hill Lewis, and it is very clear from the medium-term budget policy statement that the country's public finances, the high levels of expenditure, lower levels of revenue, spiralling debt are unsustainable and place the country on a path to a sovereign debt crisis. It is also obvious that the financial burden of non-profitable state-owned entities, decimated by years of mismanagement, state capture and looting, is similarly unsustainable and presents a major short to medium-term risk to the fiscal framework. This is highlighted by National Treasury itself, which points out that the contingent liability risks stem from poor financial condition of SOEs. And by 22-23, contingent liabilities are expected to exceed 1 trillion rand, with the largest facility being granted to Eskom, 350 billion. National Treasury expects the collective debt of the 10 largest borrowers to exceed 810 billion, a staggering figure. And it is also becoming increasingly difficult for SOEs to access capital market funding. Now, the extent of the financial crisis at SOEs is apparent when one studies the medium-term budget policy statement. And it is very interesting to see where the budget lines are going to be cut. Apparently, to find the 10.5 billion needed to fund the SAA business rescue and other much not needed items. Besides the cuts to the budget, police budget, there are cuts to community library services grant, the National Facility Revitalization Grant, the HIV, TB, malaria and community outreach grant, the National Health Insurance Grant, School Infrastructure Backlogs Grant, and the Provincial Emergency Housing Grant. These are among other cuts. Now, communities will apparently bear the brunt of these decisions, and this, in our view, is disgraceful. The country cannot afford to cut anything from such budget items, particularly the HIV, TB, malaria outreach during this COVID-19 period, let alone that 222.4 billion. This when more than 200,000 people have died of these curable diseases during the lockdown period. Government should definitely reprioritize the continual bailouts that are being given to dysfunctional SOEs and ensure that the funds are given to deserving communities and not wasted. Chair, we also saw the wastage, and the Minister Pravin Gordhan was part of the Eskom oversight inquiry. We see the wastage taking place at the Zonda Commission, and indeed, the ACDP agrees that funds can and should be prioritized from dysfunctional SOEs to fund urgent social and economic needs in the country.